14 years convicted. But when you started writing on internet, it was just a honest interest on what's going on in country. We didn't really thought that we had been surveilled and that the government would take us seriously. The name is derived from the bigger prison in Ethiopia, which is Kality. The prison has 8 zones. When we visit one of the political prisoners in zone 8, she told us they call the other part of the country zone 9 as it's a bigger prison. That day we decided, okay, let's call our workers collective zone 9.
The security forces responded with firepower and a wave of political arrests. At least 30 civilians were reportedly shot dead in June. These pictures provide evidence of large roundups. The demonstrators are saying, save us, save us.
People often refer to us as journalists and bloggers, but everybody in Zone 9 has some sort of profession. Blogging and activism was a part-time job, actually. We are exercising our rights. That's the basic thing. As any citizen, I mean, it could be a doctor or a politician or somebody from the streets. Everybody has a right that's enshrined in the Constitution, so we are doing that.
ለቅንጦት የሚወስዱትም አሉ፣ እንደ ቅብጠት የሚወስዱት አሉ። ለምን አርፋችሁ ቁጭ አትሉም? ስንጽፍ አሁን ለምሳሌ ለምን አርፋችሁ ቁጭ አትሉም የሚሉ ሰዎች አሉ። ግን ያ ማለት በቃ አንድ ሰው መጨረሻ ትንሿ መብት ናት ብዬ ነው የማስበው። ሀሳቡን መግለጽ በመግለጹ አንድ ሰው መታሰር የለበትም። ማንኛውም ሰው የትም ሀገር ሆነ የትም ሀገር ማለት ነው። እና ግን አብዛኞቹ ሰዎች እንዴት ነው የሚረዱት? ለምን አርፋችሁ አትቀመጡም? ለምን አርፈሽ አትቀመጭም ነው የሚሉት። ምክንያቱም ብዙ ሰው እየጻፈ ሲታሰር ስለሚታወቅ እኔ ያሰረኝን አካል ሳይሆን ብዙ ሰው እየጠየቀ ያለው አንቺ ለምን አርፈሽ አትቀመጭም ነው የሚለው። እና ይሄ ደግሞ ያው ለሚያስረው አካል እድሜ ማራዘሚያ ነው ማለት ነው።
The Ethiopian government is well known in cracking the private media. The public have no other choice than the government media outlets. Therefore, I personally believe that there should be something else that people can interact with each other and get some information. And I can contribute for that endeavor.
Before we came as a collective, we work as individual. All of my friends used to blog to encourage people who were imprisoned for freedom of speech. So it was our common goal to visit them and to speak out for them. So we create like a family in social media.
We are just 9 people writing about democracy, human rights, and social issues that affect our lives. To meet with other bloggers makes you feel that you are not alone. It makes you feel that the community is growing bigger and bigger by the time. So you feel that you make differences at the end of the days.
When time lapses, we start to feel the heat, and we believe that we may be arrogant and we may end up in jail. That's what happened actually.
That was my first day in prison. Torture. It was indescribable. I was just telling myself that it will pass.
I was thinking about people who has passed through that chamber in other regions, including this one. So that keep me brave. Even in times of trying in the torture chambers, you meet a lot of people whose humanity is more giving hope to your heart than the ones who damage you. So the people who help you after interrogation, and even the policemen who show some kind of humanity and kindness to you, will give you hope that in the future everyone cares about the human safety, and that's I think something to treasure.
እዛ ይመጣሉ እና በጣም በሚገርም ሁኔታ በጣም ብዙ ሰው ነው የሚመጣው እና አሁን ለምሳሌ እዛ ሲያስገድሉን ወይም ሲመቱን እዛ እንዲህ እመኑ እያሉ ሲመቱን ፍርድ ቤት ሄደን እነሱን ሳይ እኔ አሁን ለምሳሌ እነሱን ሳይ በቃ እዛ እነሱ ደግሞ ብርታት ሆነው ይሄዳሉ እና በቃ እንደውም የምችለው በእነሱ እሱ ትልቅ ብርታት ሆኖኛል ብዬ አስባለሁ እና ውጪ ደግሞ ስለኛ እንደሚወራ ምናምን ስንሰማ በቃ እኛ እንዲያውም ምን ብዬ አስባለሁ ከታሰርን በኋላ ነው በብዛት እየሰራን ያለው። ምክንያቱም ስለኛ መታሰር በተወራ ቁጥር ምን ያክል ሀገሪቷ አፋኝ ሕግ እንዳላት እያሳየን ነው። ስለዚህ ታስረንም ካምፔን እያደረግን ነው ብዬ አስባለሁ።
We learned that there is nothing small for government as long as it's not the idea that they wanted to advocate. You know, whatever initiative you have, dictator regimes like Ethiopian government doesn't see it easily.
I am totally amazed by why people get angry because somebody else has expressed his opinion rightly. I didn't get why because they can replace, they have equal opportunity to say what they want to say. So it's so totally a complicated matter for me. I don't even get how that undermines constitutional order and how it is found an act of terrorism, or how it is suspected as something that promotes terrorism.
We asked the government to respect the constitution that led us to jail, which is clearly unconstitutional.
There will not be such a time that I will stop writing, because we have to create a platform for public discourse. It's not something that you can achieve in my age or in this certain period of time. Rather, it's a certain continuum. So I believe that there is no time to stop.
I'm very proud of online and what I did in general, because now I even though it's very insignificant, I know that I've tried my best. Given the circumstances, I knew it's very hard to speak out against the government in Ethiopia, and I didn't remain quiet.
We sacrificed something for this process, but we sacrificed for not the tool, not for Facebook or not for the blog. We sacrificed for the bigger idea of asking questions, raising issues, and saying whatever we wanted to say, because we do have both a human and constitutional right given. So I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think so.
member of Zone 9 bloggers. Please welcome now on stage Mr. Zelalem. Please come on stage, join me, as he will be handed his award by Madame Sandrine Salerno, member of the City Council of Geneva, both her and the city being deeply involved in making this ceremony possible. Please.
I never been in this audience, so I may be a bit nervous, so hope you understand. I made some facts that already now, but I will try to speak. I will try to speak more about Ethiopia than Zone 9. First, I want to thank the Martin Ennals Award team and the City of Geneva for having us to this prestigious award and for selecting us as a finalist for 2006 Martin Ennals Award, along with the wonderful Razan Zaitouneh and lham Tohti. It's really an honor to be a finalist in this prestigious award, and I want to extend my congratulations to lham's family that is being this year's laureate. I hope this award may have an impact on his release. It's better to hope always. Fortunately, unlike Razan and lham, I am able to represent my blogging collective and attend the ceremony, as you see. However, coming to this event was not an easy ride. It's not because Geneva is a light year away from Ethiopia, or I travel with a horse, or I failed to do with my visa process on time. Rather, it's because we have a government who doesn't like dissenters. It's because we have a government who doesn't like journalists and activists. It's because we have a government who sees anyone asking to respect his or her own constitutional right as an enemy. I'm lucky to be here because 5 of my fellow bloggers are still waiting for another round of a marathon trial in which they are expected to appear in court in 10 days' time, while 3 of my colleagues were forced to exile and now end up as refugees. At this juncture, it's better to ask for anyone why this is happening in Ethiopia. The answer is not complicated as it seems. Rather, it's because that presently in Ethiopia, the mere fact that people are asking the government to respect its own laws is considered as a misdemeanor. While I'm standing here at this podium to speak, thousands of Ethiopians are languishing in jail for having different political stands. Government-inflicted death is becoming a day-to-day phenomenon. The repercussion of expressing dissenting opinions is enormous, and so on and so forth. Let me take you back to 2012. Back in May 2012, when our blogging collective, Zone 9, was established, we were dreaming to open a platform that helps the ongoing public discourse in our country, Ethiopia. As our dream comes true, we were able to establish a vibrant blog and a team of activists who write and campaign about Ethiopia, constitutionalism, rights, and many more issues. Until 6 of us, along with 3 of our friends, end up in jail and 3 of our fellow bloggers exiled. In prison, we suffered torture, accused of terrorism, and forced to face long unending remand trials. Some of us released suddenly, including me. Some of us released after a short trial. But the regime's stress of hunting citizens who disagree with itself was not quenched by our suffering in prison and exile. To add an insult to the injury, they confiscated our travel documents for no reason. Currently, 4 of my colleagues can't be able to travel because their travel documents are still under confiscation. To make the long story short, the regime in Ethiopia is trying to make our life hard. But this story of ours is not ours alone. Rather, it's the tip of an iceberg. to have a glimpse of what's going on in Ethiopia, it's enough to rewind back to last week. It was last week, hundreds of Ethiopian Oromo pilgrims has been killed in what history will remember it as the Irrecha massacre, which caused by an irresponsible act of the region. It was last week, one of Ethiopia's prominent blogger and academic, Siyum Tashum, was thrown to jail, and until this time, no one knows why he is jailed. So far, no explanation is also given from the government. It was last week that one of the members of our blogging collective, Nathaniel Fallega, was thrown back to detention for talking politics in a restaurant and bailed out after a court hearing. It was last Sunday the Ethiopian government declared a state of emergency for the first time in 25 years, and the whole never respected substantive and procedural rights are announced to be frozen legally. The list is bottomless. The grossness of human rights violation is appalling. As I speak before you now, Ethiopians are protesting everywhere. Killing, maiming, and jailing protesters is now becoming the new normal. Every day is a day of new horrors and horrendous news. However, in spite of what happened to us and the situation our country is facing, we remain faithful to our dream. We start blogging with a motto of "We blog because we care." And here, we reaffirm our dream. Yes, we will continue to blog because we care. Finally, let me allow me to show solidarity with those Ethiopians who are killed by day and suffering by showing this solidarity gesture. Thank you.
Yeah, we had the finalists, we had the speech, but we missed on the award, so this is done now. So our second outstanding human rights defender, who is honored